friendos, I'm Lez, and I'm here to give you guys a beginner-friendly tutorial to the new update of FAS. So in the previous update, our beginner items were completely different except for the glow stick and flashlight. These new items, I'm going to go ahead and cover them individually so you can feel a little bit more confident of starting the new update. Alright, so up first is the EMF. So the EMF reader helps determine a ghost type based on EMF levels. This tier 1 EMF, it has a 1.7 meter range, its accuracy is pretty low, and it is electronic. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a demonstration of what the EMF looks like when it is in use. Alright, as you see right here, the EMF is going a little bit crazy, so depending on where you are looking at, the EMF is going to move higher or it's going to move lower. So this ghost is having some activity around here, but as you can see on the EMF, it goes to 1, 2, 4, and 5. So as soon as that big long arm passes those numbers, you'll be able to see if you have EMF 1, 2, 3, or 5. And then mark that down as one of your evidences. Alright, our next item is the D.O.T.S projector. So the D.O.T.S projector collects evidence based on a field of green lights. So it's going to go ahead and demonstrate a bunch of little dots, kind of like a flashlight in such a sense. But it does have a narrow spotlight. It has a 5 meter range. It's handheld and is also electronic. So I'll be giving you guys a demonstration of what that looks like. Alright, and now a demonstration of dots. So this is what it looks like. If you put it against the wall, you're able to see a circle of dots. However, it is very narrow and not that reliable, especially when you put it down in certain places. You're not able to see it as much if it is in lights, but as soon as you turn off the lights, you should be able to see dots much more better. You can also tell the ghost, or tell it to see what kind of ghost it is, if you're holding it, if you're brave enough, and it pops up right in front of you. So let's try to see if this ghost wants to pop up through dots, so I can give a demonstration. A good way to place dots is by holding F and placing the dots somewhere to get a higher ground, because if you do put it on the floor, you don't really get that great of a distance as you see right there, or if we were to try to move it around. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and put this on top. It's having a lot of activity in here. We're gonna go ahead and see if it gives us dots. As well as you see dots moving around, it's also your breath. So don't go ahead and think that it's dots, it's just your breath. Alright, now moving on to, ooh, and that was dots. That was dots. Wow, ghost, you didn't even let me explain what the ghost writing is. Alright, and up next is ghost writing. So ghost writing is a ghost writing book to get the ghost to write, and it is a source of evidence, so you can help determine what kind of ghost it is. It is tier 1, it does have a 3 meter range, and its interaction rate is pretty low. It still works regardless, however, its range is pretty low. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a demonstration of how that is used. Alright, now moving on to ghost writing. So the way that you... Okay, thank you for the portrait. So the way that you put this down is you hold F, and it depending on the radius. So if you see this radius is somewhat pretty big, but the other ones have more of an accuracy. So this ghost might not want to write immediately. So that is ghost book. Alright, and up next is the same flashlight as before. Now this flashlight, I personally find it just as beneficial as the stronger flashlights. It does have a narrow spotlight, it has a low intensity, and it is also electronic as well. So I'll be going ahead and giving you guys a demonstration. Moving on to flashlight, this is our handy dandy tier 1 flashlight. As you can see, I'm going to go ahead and turn off all the lights to the house just so you can see how much you'll be able to visualize while in game. So its quality is not that great, however, it's still pretty good for whenever you want to see... Oh, hello! Jump scare! So it's pretty good whenever you want to... Wow, Ghosty just does not want to let me explain flashlight because it doesn't like flashlights. So whenever you're moving around the house, you can still pretty much see some things. Like I said, it's like the same flashlight as before. So nothing too different. All right, and the next item that we have is the spirit box. So the spirit box is used to communicate with a ghost by asking it certain questions, such as, where are you? Who are you? Are you near? Are you far? Do you want to hurt me? Certain questions like that. And I'll show you how that goes into the game and how it is used. So it is also a tier 1 spirit box. It has a 3-meter range, it has low audio quality, and it also has a low response rate, and it is also electronic. So I'll be going ahead and giving you a demonstration on the spirit box. Ghosty, are you here? Are you near? Where are you? I can hear you. And that is spirit box. So whenever you get a radio frequency interaction, that is spirit box. So the ghost no longer will say right here, behind you, or try to scare you. It's more of a radio frequency now. So it sounds like a radio. All right, and our next item on the list is the thermometer. So this thermometer does look a lot more different than the first original monitor we had in Phas. So the thermometer shows the temperature of a room, and it can be used to detect freezing temperatures. It is a tier 1, it has a medium accuracy, and it has a low sample speed, and this is not electronic. So if a ghost were to be hunting you and you're holding this in your hand, it will not come after you because it is not electronic. I will be giving you guys a demonstration right now of what it looks like. And now we are using the thermometer. So as you see, it is gradually going down, as well as thermometers work best if you do see your breath. Now, when you do see your breath, it doesn't necessarily mean that it is freezing temperatures now. As in the prior game before the update, when you got your breath, it meant you had freezing temps. But in this case, it only means that the room is cold. So it's best to check temperature around the ghost room, in the ghost room, or wherever there is freezing temperatures. So as you see, okay, the ghostie just threw something. As you see, the temperature is gradually dropping. Whoa, rude. It's gradually dropping. All right, so I'm gonna guess that this is where the ghost is gonna be at. Temperature stopped around, let's say, 3 degrees Celsius. Now you can use Celsius or Fahrenheit. So for Celsius, it's anything below 0, and for Fahrenheit, it's anything below 32. So as you can see, we're not going to get any freezing temps. I guess this ghostie isn't one of those freezing ghosties, but you can always move around in the room to tell if it is freezing temperatures or not. Keep in mind, this thermometer does take a while for it to be freezing temps. But other than that, we already know that this room is not going to be freezing. The next item in our list is the glow stick. One of my favorite items. It's still really beneficial. I find it just as helpful as tier 2 and tier 3. So for the UV light, it is used to check ghost footprints and fingerprints. So now it is called, for the evidence, ultraviolet, which is pretty cool because back then the footsteps weren't considered as evidence. It was more of just taking extra pictures for money. So it is tier 1, it has a 60-second duration, so after 60 seconds you do have to shake the UV light once more. It has a 10 UV charge time, and it is a good light for your area. So I will be giving you guys a demonstration of how that looks like right now. Alright, moving on to UV light. So by using the UV light, you see how I shook. So after 60 seconds, you are going to have to shake your UV light to reactivate the UV. So right here, we got fingerprints. This is how you use it. It's very plain and simple. It's the same thing as the one before, except after a period of time, the fingerprints will go away. You do have to recharge them with the UV light, but UV is pretty simple. Alright, and on to the last piece of the starter items when you start into Phasmophobia is the video camera. In my personal opinion, it is my least favorite video camera of the game, only because it has such a small screen to look at. You can still tell if there's ghost orbs, but the point of having the video camera is to create video feed sent to the van's computers, such as this one. In addition, it can be used to detect ghost orbs. So it is tier 1, it has a low image quality, it is a high paranormal interference, it is also electronic, and it also has a very high chance of being knocked down. So for example, if you have a tripod with you, which I'll be going over the next tier of items as soon as you start unlocking. For tier 1, I will be giving you guys another video of how those things are used and their intensities and uses. So I am going to be giving you guys a demonstration of what this camera, tier 1, looks like. Now, moving on to video camera. So it is night vision quality, just like the other ones. You see how very small this portrait is? You don't get a lot of ground to cover whenever you're looking. But this is what it looks like, so you can look for ghost orbs. And you guys, that concludes our very friendly beginner tutorial. If I missed anything, please let me know in the comments down below. Like I said, this is the starter equipment that you get. The next video I will be doing is on tier 1 starter items and the rest of the tier 1 items that you get after you level up a couple levels. So you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you thought this was pretty educational, please comment down below and let me know. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe. There will be more videos in the future about Phasmophobia. There will be more videos such as this, educational on beginning. There will be tier 1 all equipment, tier 2 all equipment, and tier 3 all equipment. And if you guys would like me to do any other videos on Phasmophobia that you still need answers to that you haven't found anywhere else, please feel free to comment down below and let me know. Thank you so much for sticking around to this tutorial to the very end, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh, and happy hunting.